everyone, and welcome to Operation Little Learners. I'm Miss Melissa, Child Care Director at the Armed Services YMCA.
I am Miss Antoinette. I'm the Associate Executive Director of the Armed Services YMCA.
And welcome. Today we're going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you're not standing, go ahead and stand, and we'll put our right hand over our chest, and let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome everyone to Little Learners Live. I'm Miss Melissa, Child Care Director at the Armed Services YMCA. This week is all about the 4th of July. We're going to begin with a short book titled The Night Before the 4th of July by Natasha Wing. We'll do a craft, a popsicle stick star streamer, and then we'll sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Join me for a day of fun. The Night Before the 4th of July by Natasha Wing. 'Twas the night before July 4th, and all across the USA, Americans were gearing up for Independence Day. Mom tied up the bunting while I gave Dad a hand. We hung up the flag from our porch stand. That night we both slept, sprawled out in our beds, while visions of fireworks popped in our heads. The next morning we dressed up in red, white, and blue. I even wore stars, one on each shoe. We lined up on Main Street. Look, here come the parade floats. Hooray for the marching band and the 4-H club goats. The mayor tossed candy. I shouted, "Hear, hear!" And Uncle Sam, walking on stilts, brought up the rear. Friends and family came over for a backyard barbecue. Dad fired up the grill as the storm started to brew. The goodies were set on the picnic table with care. "Get 'em while they're hot," hollered Dad, flipping burgers into the air. But just when we sat down, it started to pour. "Grab the food," shouted Mom, and we raced through the door. In hot dogs, in salads, in blueberry pie, in melon and corn. Keep those potato chips dry. We gathered in the kitchen and spilled into the hall. "Squeeze in," said Mom. "There's room for us all." As we munched on our food, Grandma turned to Grandpop. "There'll be no fireworks show if this rain doesn't stop." When what to our wondering eyes should appear, with the rain suddenly stopping, the sky was now clear. We piled in the car and drove to the park. We threw down a blanket as it began to grow dark. Dad lit the sparklers. We drew circles in the air. We snapped glow sticks on our wrist and glow halos in our hair. The first firework was launched high into the night. It bloomed like a flower, exploding with light. Whiz, crackle, boom, woohoo, cheered the crowd, but my brother covered his ears and whimpered, "That's too loud." The band played the national anthem. Dad sang, "Oh, say, can you see?" That's when I covered my ears because he was way out of key. And now the grand finale. Wow, the best I'd seen yet. A sky filled with color, a show I'll never forget. When the last firework fizzled like fairy dust in the sky, we all cheered and shouted, "Happy 4th of July!" Today we'll be making popsicle star streamers. You'll need some popsicle sticks, blue paint, star stickers. You can also use markers or other colored paint as well. Streamers or ribbon or yarn, whatever you have in your house will work. And we'll begin by laying out our popsicle sticks in a star shape, just like you see below. I like to paint my popsicle sticks first and set them out to dry. So this craft does take a little bit longer just because you will need a little time for everything to dry, the glue and the paint. Mom or Dad, you're welcome to use a glue gun, but for little ones doing this craft, I recommend wood glue or Elmer's glue. Just begin to paint your popsicle sticks just like that. And I know some kids might want to paint them a different color, like white, and that is okay also. Your marker will show up great on white paint. Oops, he wants to run away. And we are using washable paint. Just a little tip, if you mix a drop of soap with your paint, it is fantastic because it's really easy to remove from clothing or from your little one's hands. There we go. And sometimes if you do a second coat, your colors will come out a little bit brighter. There we go. How's everyone doing at home? Oops, there we go. Alrighty, so now that we've got our popsicle sticks painted, we will lay them out in a star shape. So, let's see, we'll go this way, then this way, this way. And sometimes you almost just have to kind of play around with it and see what you got going on here. There we go. Perfect, just like that. And we'll add a touch of glue on each corner. And then once your star is all dried up, just set it aside and let it dry for a bit. Once it's all dried up, we'll flip it over to the other side and start to add our streamers. You can also add stars at this point. There we go. Or if you have white paint, that'll do the job as well. Glitter and glue will also look really pretty on there. There we go. Alrighty. We'll add a little bit of glue to each popsicle stick at the bottom. There we go. A little bit there. And then we're just going to set this aside and let it dry for a little bit. While we do that, we'll start to cut our streamers. There we go. So I have got these little streamers here. I've also got white ribbon here. You're welcome to use any color you'd like. And older kids might be able to cut the ribbons themselves. Younger ones will need a little bit of help. This guy here. These ones glue on really easily. You're also welcome to use yarn or anything else that you have at home. Alright, and then we'll take our little star and we'll start to glue it onto the bottom, just like this. Excess pieces on the corners can be cut off afterwards, not to worry. There we go. Let your little have fun with this one. They can do their own glue. If they got a little bowl next to them, they can dip it in there. All right, and then when you are all done, set it aside to dry. And your final product will look something like this. And these are fun. They can be hung around the house, maybe in the window to celebrate the 4th of July. Today we'll have a little song. It is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I'm sure we are all very familiar with it. So go ahead and get your twinklers out and we'll begin. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Little Learners Live. It's such a pleasure to be here with you. Have a wonderful 4th of July, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.